Alright, this is gonna be part 9 of Tokyo Mirage sessions. There we go. Phew. Oh, never mind. That is so weird. My camera keeps shorting out. Ugh. It's relatively new too, so I'm like not super happy. Let's try this really fast. Like I tried restarting my computer and that sort of thing. Let's try one more time. If I can't get it to work, it's not a huge deal. Oh yeah, video. There we go. Huh. Maybe if I unplug it and replug it really quick. Oh boy. It's so weird. It's not making like any noise when I connect or disconnect it. And normally it would, so I'm like, let's get rid of that really quick. Yeah, there we go. Huh. Hopefully it stays on. If not, I'll have to just figure out what went wrong later. Alrighty. So we got a message from Kidia, and she says she never figured Yashiro would join us. Let's see. And then she says, you don't realize it, but the reason he joined Fortuna is because you had such an effect on him. But don't feel like you have to change for him. If we did that, it wouldn't be Fortuna, right? Just keep doing what you've been doing. Neato. There we go. So I'm gonna run through some of the side stories that became available on the last video. Let's do this one first. Itsuki says, why are you in this state? Yashiro says, I haven't replenished my energy these past few days due to conflicts in my schedule. Itsuki says, I'm not sure what's been going on, but are you saying you haven't eaten in days? Wait, how'd you even get by until now? Yashiro says, aside from show business, all my miscellaneous affairs were left to my assistant. Itsuki says, and what happened to the assistant? Yashiro says, I dismissed him. He was against my transfer to Fortuna. Tell me, how do you people normally fend off starvation? Itsuki says, calling it starvation is extreme, but I guess I go to a cafe when I'm hungry. Other than that, though, Yashiro cuts him off and says, a cafe? I see. Understood. That's what I look like, I think, right now. I haven't been sleeping good for the last few days. Itsuki says, I'm worried about him. Ugh. My mental health has been bad, like for a couple days here. Momori texted us and says, Yashiro collapsed in front of the cafe. Itsuki says, I guess he didn't make it. Momori says, please come at once. Itsuki says, okay. I think it's next to this place. But yeah, I had like anxiety for no reason. Like, I think I maybe slept 2 hours yesterday, and I tried to sleep today. I took like some Benadryl and melatonin as well, and I just could not like fall asleep. I was like, no. Alright. Oh, looks like I have to go find him wherever he collapsed. Did I open that window? I think I did. Jeez. I'm loopy. Loopy. Well, there's Momori. She says, Itsuki. Itsuki says, where's Yashiro? Momori says, I had someone passing by help me. We managed to get him in the cafe. Please come with me. Alright. Lower that just a little bit. Like my hearing is super sensitive right now. Looks like Yashiro ate. Itsuki says, how do you feel? Yashiro says there are no problems, so all I must do is come here from now on, correct? Itsuki says, yeah, but how can you be so uninformed? Yashiro says there was no need for it. Until now I've only lived thinking of how to perfect my craft. Momori says, Yashiro. Yashiro says, then again, I've had no one to teach me such things. Itsuki says, huh? Yashiro says it's been 5 years since he passed away. Itsuki says Yashiro, and Yashiro says, had my father still been around, my situation would not have changed much. Improve only your acting skills, that was what my father taught me. Itsuki says, that does sound like something your father would say. Yashiro says, thus everything else is unnecessary. Momori says, that's not true. Yashiro says, what? Momori says, even though I can only use a microwave as someone involved in a cooking show, I cannot let that comment pass. Itsuki says, how is this cafe capable of providing this many kinds of food? Yashiro says, what's the meaning of this? Momori says, Yashiro, dining is an important part of being an actor. There are food programs, travel shows, and even a drama role may require it. That's why eating can never be called unnecessary. No matter what you eat, you're expressionless. It's very boring. No one could ever enjoy a dining scene like that. I think you failed at it. Momori says, sorry. Yashiro says, very well, Minamoto. There is indeed truth to your words. Momori says, in that case, how about trying a food report? You eat something and say what you think about it. Yashiro says, then allow me to try it at once, or so I would like to say. I have no idea how to go about this. Itsuki, show me an example first. Try eating that ramen. Itsuki says, alright. Yashiro says, how is it? I say, this is a samurai of the ramen world. The clean seafood soup base is as sharp as a blade honed by a master craftsman. These weighty, semi-thick noodles, their texture has a firmness to the bite, as if to embody the very heart of Bushido. Or something like that. Yashiro says, that was quite expressive. I see, this is what food is like. Well then, tell me about the cake next. Momori says, I want to hear it too. Itsuki says, okay. Yashiro says, your thoughts? And Itsuki says, the softness of the sponge cake and the delicate texture of the carefully whipped cream. I feel as though I've been going back to sleep in a warm bed under the gentle sunlight of spring. The strawberries are fresh, and their slight sourness brings the cake's flavor all together. It's heavenly. Momori says, Yashiro. Yashiro says, I get the gist of it. The secret to the food report is an overwhelming power of description that conveys what you taste to the viewer, as well as a relentless power of expression that speaks directly to the viewer's heart. And Yashido is having a boy epiphany. Oh my. If they flash forward on the girl's boobs, they should at least zoom in on this guy's ween. Yashido learned palate epiphany. My goodness. Omori says, amazing, you grasped the essence of it just by watching Itsuki. Yashido says, that was more simple than eating breakfast. Itsuki says, what you just ate was lunch, though. Yashido says, at this moment, new doors have been opened for my craft. I wish to try various dishes at once in order to fully grasp this sensation. Yashido says, if you'll excuse me. And then he leaves. Whew. Tiki says, come to the palace and perform the unity. Oh boy. He's got all kinds of texts that are useless. Oh. Ooh, I apologize if I'm a little off my game today. Like, I have like a flat affect right now, which is better than what I was having before. Because like earlier, like I said, I was just having an anxiety attack. It was just no good. Thankfully, my boyfriend stayed up a little bit to talk to me. Because that helps, like, to just get it off your chest sometimes. Tiki says, big brother, everyone else. Wait, that's Yashido. I say, he's on our side now. Tiki says, we're all friends now? I hope you'll be my friend too, Yashido. Yashido says, so you really don't? No, never mind. I apologize for my behavior previously. It would be my pleasure to join you. Tiki says, thanks. Alrighty, so I'm gonna probably make a couple weapons and do that skill. Oh my, look at all those weapons. Yeah, she hasn't had a new one in a while. Sonic Feather, Alicorn. There we go. Whew. Oof. I knew today was gonna be like off when I was like super emotional for no reason. Like I was watching a YouTube video and like nothing particularly sad was happening. And like I just wanted to cry for like no reason. It was kind of bad. Alright, so now we need to do the Radiant Unity. Where is it? There we go. Door of Hunger. Navarre, says Yashido. Navarre says, what is it? Yashiro says, when I was starving, why did you say nothing? Navarre says, whatever I said would not have changed the situation for the better. That's why I remained silent. Yashiro says, I see. Navarre laughs, and Yashiro doesn't know what he means, I guess. Navarre says, even I never saw further meaning in dining beyond taking in necessary nutrients. However, I now see that it can be held in a different light. That's what makes performing arts so intriguing. Yashiro says, indeed, it seems there is still much to learn for both you and myself. Navarre says, it would seem so. Hello, today we have a special guest, says Momori. Coming to dine with us is Yashiro. Are you feeling hungry? I sure am, Momori, says Yashiro. Momori says, today I made pork buns courtesy of Kawamura. I'd like it if you gave it a try. Yashiro says, it would be my pleasure. He takes a bite, and Momori says, what do you think? Yashiro says, the gentle texture of the bun reminds me... it went too fast. And he says, as soon as my teeth sink in, it's a polite... Wow, I can't even talk. I can only describe it as a battle royale of flavors, he says. It is a gripping struggle of offense and defense that takes place in my mouth. Delish. And then he screams, this is delicious! Oh my. I've definitely had days when food was that yummy. Yashiro says, you're amazing, Momori. Even my heart's been warmed up with the press of a button. Wow, those dialogues went like super fast. It's not particularly relevant though, it's just him like putting into practice what he learned. Itsuki says, amazing, it's like the Yashiro who had no interest in food never existed. Momori says, I know, I was really surprised too. Yashiro says, I used the examples you showed me as reference. Itsuki says, yours was better than mine though. Yashiro says, of course it was, I'm a true artist after all. He continues, since then I have continued to eat every type of food at all times and places. This unfortunately resulted in my weight increasing by 44 pounds. Itsuki says, you went that far? Yashiro says, that only meant that I had to lose the same amount of weight. It's as simple as that. Itsuki says, so this is what a first-class actor is capable of doing. Yashiro says, that's correct. This is what a true artist is. Yashiro learned the Hungry Man performance. Oof, but I don't know, if you've never watched my videos before, I talk a lot about being bipolar and how it's like a hot mess. Ugh. Anyways, Yashiro says lesson studio and sends a picture of the map, indicating that there is another side story for him available currently. We have a lot to do, so I'm just gonna keep trucking. Toma says, Itsuki, do you have any time right now? I say yes. Toma says, have you heard the news? It's pretty great. I finally get to audition for a new TV show. It's for the newest installment of Masquerader, a 35th anniversary show called Oga for the lead role. Itsuki says it's about time. Toma says, yeah, I'll be a real hero soon. A Saturday morning show hero. Itsuki says, don't forget that you haven't gotten the part yet. Maiko says, Toma, Itsuki, this looks bad. Come check the TV. There might be a Mirage incident. An 11-year-old boy has gone missing. He was last spotted around Dogenzaka in Shibuya. The police are continuing their investigation since the child may have been in an accident. Toma says, isn't that the kid? Itsuki says, it's him alright. Dogonzaka would be near the 106. Toma says the idolosphere's there. He might have wandered in. What do you think, Kane? Kane says it's a possibility. From what I saw, that boy's performa was remarkably strong. Toma says, Erg. Itsuki says, hey, Toma. Sorry about this, Miss Mako. I'm heading out too. Maiko says, be careful out there. Alrighty. Whew. Mako says in a text message, his name is Riku. The idolosphere at 106. Be careful. Oof. A lot of people, I think, misinterpret bipolar as people like being really angry, but it's really like mood fluctuation. Like there'll be days where you just don't want to get out of bed because you're depressed, and then there'll be days when you have like infinite energy, and that would be like mania essentially. Oh my goodness, my brain is broken. I think it's this way. Look at all those side questies. Alright, we have entered the idolosphere. I think this is Toma Part 3. I'm just trying to look up where I'm supposed to go. Let's see. Alright, so it looks like it's at the top of the building. Toma says, this definitely belongs to the kid. Itsuki says, so he did wander in here just like we feared. Toma says, dang it, we gotta hurry. Kane says, calm down, Toma. Impatience on the battlefield can cost you your life. Do not lose sight of your goal. Toma says, you're right. It wouldn't do any good if I go down when I'm trying to save him. Kane says, indeed. Now let us proceed, Toma. Oh boy, more messages. Toma says, Tiki, do you have any clues? Tiki says, calm down. It's weak, but I sense him at the top of the building. Toma says, so that's where he's at. Tiki says, I don't know for sure, but the performa's really weak. I sense a Mirage near it too, so be careful. Toma says, got it. Thanks, Tiki. Where is that? There we go. But yeah, this time of year, like, my depression gets me. Like, and I think I have like some lingering anxiety because in a very, very short period of time, 3 people passed away. My sister, who was 17, my grandmother, and an ex-lover. Like all within like a 6-month period, so it was pretty like brutal. And I don't think I've like fully gotten over that yet. It's been about a year since all that happened, but yeah, rough stuff. Whew. Kane says halt. Toma says, whoa, what's up all of a sudden? Kane says, this presence, it can't be, it's him. Toma says, him? Kane says, I apologize, we can't hesitate, let's press onward. Itsuki says, I feel an ominous presence. I just say, let's proceed. Itsuki says, hold on a sec, we got another message from Maiko. Toma says, you don't really need to check that now, do you? Itsuki says, I can't ignore it, maybe something happened. Maiko says, sorry to borrow you, Toma's with you, right? I can't get in contact with him. Itsuki says, yes, he is. Maiko says, his audition is today. I got a call from the director, and he hasn't showed up. Itsuki says, you could still make it. Toma says, make what? Anyway, let's hurry and keep going. Itsuki says, we can save the kid. Go to your audition. Toma says, I knew you'd say that. That's why I kept quiet. Itsuki says, of course I would. Toma says, it's okay. Luck just wasn't on my side this time. And besides, I want to save that kid myself. I promised him after all. Itsuki says, let's go then. We have to save Riku. Toma says, right. So annoying, like, when I was reading the texts, the screen finished loading and then it just proceeded without me being able to finish reading all the texts. Anyways, Toma says, dang it, his performance being drained. The monster laughs and says, it appears to have noticed my message, Kane. I expect no less from the bull, my old rival. Kane says, it was you, Abel. Toma says, you remember him? Kane says, indeed. No matter what happens, I will never forget him. Crom says, that Mirage, he's cursed. Kane says, stop this, Abel. You must come to your senses. I have no wish to fight you. Abel says, you may not, but I surely do. With all that I am, I despise you. Crom says, the curse is amplifying his rivalry and competitive nature. He's out of control. Abel says, I shall kill you myself and prove once and for all that I'm your better in all things. Kane says, Abel. Abel says, ready your lance, lest I run mine through this child. Riku says, it hurts. I'm scared. Save me, Raiga. Toma says, hey now, so you do like the show. Get ready, Kane. If your friend's gonna be unreasonable, then we have to beat the crap out of him. Kane says, Toma, Abel is a force to be reckoned with. Toma says, so what? When a hero's fighting for someone else's sake, he's invincible. Kane says, heh, of course. Consider my objection withdrawn. Toma says, plus I have friends I can trust. You've got my back, right, Itsuki? Itsuki says, don't I always? Toma says, hang in there, Riku. We will save you. Lightning energy, full charge, boost up. Abel says, taste the blade of my lance and all the hatred within. Alrighty, that should probably be it for that guy. Toma says, Riku, are you okay? Riku says, Rega, oh, it's you. Toma says, I'm so glad. Riku says, why are you crying? You're so lame. Toma says, can it, you little brat. Itsuki, I get it now. A hero isn't just a role someone plays, it's a way of life where one fights for the happiness of others. Toma has his titty orb come out. Yay! Ugh. I'm in this, like, annoying state of, like, supremely sleepy and, like, way too awake. Anyways, Toma learned fight for my friends. Toma says I wasn't wrong after all. Itsuki says, well done. Toma says, yeah. Abel says, forgive me, Kane. Even if I was controlled, I earnestly tried to. Kane cuts him off and says if our roles were reversed, I would have done the same. Do not dwell on it. After all, we are the bull and panther, rival and friends. Abel says, indeed. Crom says, Abel, right? If you'd like to join us, we'd be happy to count you among our allies. Abel says, I'm grateful for the offer, but Crom says, fair enough. Toma says, well, that case is settled. Kane says, Toma, it's far from over, we must make haste. Toma says, what's the rush? Kane says, the audition. Toma says, come on, man, from here, we won't make it in time. Kane says, Toma, don't tell me you've forgotten how fast I am. Toma says, Kane. Kane says, together we ride, full throttle. Itsuki says, I hope he makes it in time. Crom says, there's no need to worry, Kane knows what he's doing. Toma texts me and says, about the audition. Itsuki says, yeah? Toma says, I somehow made it. Couldn't have done it without Kane. Itsuki says, I see, glad to hear it. Itsuki says, looks like you made it. Crom says, that's really a relief. He's ready now, all he has to do is believe in himself and await good news. Itsuki says, you're right. Tiki says, come to the Bloom Palace to finish this side quest. Alrighty. Well, I have a couple of those now. Let's see. Which one do we want? And they're both so similar. I'm gonna do this one. Anyways, Kane is now a paladin and has learned some new carnages. Seems like I use her a lot of the time too. So let's just give this one to her. This one has higher magic, so let's just go with that. And she is now a Falcon Knight. Looks like there might be some new equipment for them. Doesn't hurt to check it. Kane now has Longinus. And Kaida now has the Winged Lance, I believe. Yep. Alright, so now we're going to do the Radiant Unity. And that's Door of Heroes. Kane says, your audition was impressive. It seemed your hero's passion was made clear to the director as well. Thomas says, whoa, Kane, where's this coming from? You're starting to get into it too, huh? Kane says, you've shown me what it truly means through this incident after all. Though their appearances may differ, the heroes of this world are no different from those of mine. Thomas says, I see. Kane says, you've become a true hero. I'm honored to serve as the Mirage of someone with your level of valor. Thomas says, that's rare. I don't think you praised me like that before. Kane says, I merely thought it was best to mention it now. Thomas says, tell me more about how awesome I am. I'm the kind of guy that gets better faster the more you praise me. Kane says, less arrogance, thank you, and most of all, do not forget you made it this far because Itsuki helped you. Thomas says, yeah, I know, he's my best friend. I'm sure you get what I mean, right? Kane says, indeed, finding a true friend with whom you can better yourself is no easy feat. Thomas says, of course, you're my best friend too, Kane. Kane says, indeed. Thomas says, alright, let's head out. This is my first job as a hero. You're finished, Raiga, says the monster. Raiga says, this is it. Someone says, hold it right there. The monster says, who are you? I'm the Scarlet Warrior clad in the flames of love, says the other voice. Masquerader Uga, at your service. Toma says, this is awesome. Oga Flame Thrust. Itsuki says, that's you on screen though, are you praising yourself? Toma says, I know, but seriously man, don't you think it's impressive? Itsuki says, yeah, and the theme song sounds great too, I didn't know you could sing. Toma says, we have tons of singing specialists at this agency after all. Itsuki says, right. Toma says, Kitty is training especially, just remembering it makes me, ugh. Maiko's voice says, Toma, you have a visitor. Riku says, excuse me. Toma says, hey Riku, are y'all better now? Riku says, yeah, I'm fine. Anyway, Toma. Abel, you say it instead. Abel says, that will not do. Tell him with your own words. Riku says, teach me how to become a hero too. Abel's voice says, please. Riku says, please. Toma says, Riku, I see. Abel says, my apologies, Toma, but would you mind? It seems he's come to admire you since the rescue. Riku wishes to become a hero as well. Riku says, you keep butting in too much, Abel. Abel says, I could never butt in too much. I vowed from the depths of my heart to watch over you. Riku says, alright, I'll be waiting on the roof of the department store. You better show up. Toma says, man, I was surprised when Abel said he'd be Riku's Mirage. I mean, it still is an apprentice, but still. Itsuki says, same here. Toma says, by the way, Itsuki. Itsuki says, huh? Toma says, this is a good turning point in my life, and I feel like I'm gonna miss my chance again if I don't say it now. Itsuki says, huh? Toma says, I only made it this far because you were there with me, so thank you. Itsuki says, hearing you say that so formally feels pretty weird. Toma says, say what? Oh, let me guess. Are you embarrassed? Itsuki says, yeah, actually. Toma says, well, this is a turning point. Yep, a turning point. Itsuki says, what do you mean? Toma says, my dream came true. Even though I'm Uga, there are still evil mirages in this world that are making people suffer, and there are tons more kids still left that need a hero. That's why my battle has just begun. Itsuki says, you mean our battle, right? Every hero needs a partner. Toma says, you heard that right, Itsuki. I won't lose to anyone if I have you at my side. Oh, we got a Master Seal. Interesting. Toma Akagi has grown as an entertainer and has become an awakened hero. He gained the Oga Flame Thrust technique. How fancy. Master Seal, huh? Well, Kitty is more of a mage, so let's give her this mage thing. And we have turned her Kaida into a sorcerer. Oh no, that's Tharja. We unlocked some new Carnages. And... doesn't look like we can learn any right this second. Alrighty. Anyways, Tsubasa says, oh my gosh, what should I do, Itsuki? Itsuki says, what's wrong? Tsubasa says, Ms. Maiko is gonna make me. Maiko says, oh good, he came at the perfect time. Don't you think it's about time for Tsubasa? Itsuki says, time for what? Maiko says, a solo concert. We're planning on making a big announcement. Say it's finally time then. Maiko says it certainly is. The time is ripe, Tsubasa. After you made a brilliant debut as the Pegasus idol, you've appeared in drink commercials, meet and greets. You've made a strong impression in lots of different fields. Maiko continues, your fans are steadily increasing in number too. I wouldn't be exaggerating if I said you're a top-notch idol. Tsubasa says, eek! Maiko says, be proud of yourself. I'm certain that you can make this concert a success. Tsubasa says, yes ma'am. Maiko says on top of that, I plan on asking the up-and-coming composer, Shoten Sawafuji, to make the new song you'll perform. Tsubasa says, you mean the Shoten Sawafuji? Itsuki says, is that a big deal? Tsubasa says, he's known as the Platinum Hitman. Every singer wants to work with him. I can't believe someone like me might have a chance to work with him. Itsuki says, he must be amazing. Maiko says, he'll be here any minute. Mind your manners. Tsubasa says, this soon? Aya says, Mr. Sawafuji's here to see you, Maiko. Tsubasa says, eep! Sawafuji says, about this gig, I'd like to decline the offer. Maiko says, when we spoke previously, you said that she piqued your interest. Sawafuji says, I can't. There's another job I need to do instead. I don't have time to deal with a fake idol whose popularity was artificially made. Maiko says, but... Sawafuji says, wait for me, Azusa. Maiko says, Azusa? Sawafuji says, the new song, Just For You, Gray Funeral Makeup, is almost done. Maiko says, he was acting strange, and he did mention Azusa. Tsubasa says, yeah, but she's... Itsuki says, who's Azusa? Tsubasa says, she's a legendary idol who was popular not too long ago. Her debut song, The Azusa's Colored Sky, sold 1 million copies. She rose to stardom at once. Her voice was so beautiful people called it singing from the heavens. I still like her songs to this day. Itsuki says to this day. Tsubasa says, yeah, she passed away a year ago. The media said it was an illness, but a lot of things never got explained. Maiko says, that's what the public was told. In truth, she was devoured. Tsubasa says, huh? Maiko says, she died because a Mirage devoured her performa. That day, Kidia immediately went there to slay the Mirage, but Azusa's power-absorbed performa granted it immense powers. The Mirage overwhelmed even Kidia. Itsuki says, so that means Azusa was also more skilled as a singer than Kidia. Tsubasa says, how terrible. Maiko says, Kidia and Tharja managed to drive it back, but they could not defeat it. Itsuki says, then that Mirage is alive? Maiko says, yes, and it requires more performa to make a comeback. It's very possible that Sawafuji has been bewitched by that Mirage. It did succeed in completely taking in all of Azusa's talents after all. Tsubasa says, Mr. Sawafuji's in danger then. Maiko says, the enemy should be quite powerful. No ordinary performance skills will be able to take it down. Tsubasa says, still, we can't leave him alone. Let's go, Itsuki. We have to go after Mr. Sawafuji. Itsuki says, agreed. Whew. Anyways, we get a text from Maiko. She says, I checked on his schedule. He has a meeting at Daitao TV station, but he hasn't shown up. Tsubasa says, the station. Itsuki says, the idolosphere's there. You don't suppose? Tsubasa says, let's check it out. Maiko says, make sure you both stay safe. Let me pull up this little thing really fast. Blah blah blah. We're going to Illusory Daito. Alright, so we're going straight to the boss place. And we're gonna fight some more enemies. Kaida says, what an infernal presence. Kidia says, it's the same aura as that day, isn't it, Tharja? Tharja says, ugh, that's a familiar stench. Just reminds me of our failure. But there's no escape this time. Kidia says, are you alright, Tsubasa? Tsubasa says, I'm okay. We need to rescue Mr. Sawafuji, no matter what. Kidia says, that's the spirit. Let's go. Okay. We get a text from Kidia and says, any idea where the presence is coming from? Tiki says, it's north of film set B. I sense a powerful presence from the room that Barry was caught in before. It's a really strong mirage. Will you be okay? Kidia says, I won't be foolish enough to let that thing escape twice. Plus, my friends are with me. Oh, looks like we need to go this way. At least I think we do. Oh my, I must not have activated the warp point last time I was here. Whew, that loads so slow. Oh wow, this is like quite a roundabout way to go. It's gonna take a hot second to get over there. I must have to go up here first. That one must be open then. Oops. Or maybe this is the wrong place. Let me check this map out some more. It does say Illusory Daito TV. Yeah, I must have missed something. I don't know. I'll keep wandering around a little bit here. Yeah, that's Daito TV. Looks like Toma messaged us and says, I can't believe it, Yashido joining up with Fortuna. Wonder if we'll all get along. What do you think? Huh. What did I miss? Oh, must be this way then. Sawafuji says, "How is it, Azusa? How's the new song I made for you? You're the best idol ever." Pharaoh says, "Good, give me more Performa, the source of power. Ha ha ha." Tsubasa says, "Stop right there, let go of Mr. Sawafuji." Pharaoh says, "It looks like new fans have come along. I'll welcome you all with this new song he made. I'm Azusa Maikawa. My next song is Grey Funeral Makeup. I'll sing it with all my hate." Oh my. Everybody's like, "Whoa, we can't make a move like this." Tharja says, "The singing, it's stronger than before." Kidia says, "We need a song from a similar idol to counter those vocals. Tsubasa has to do it." Tsubasa says, "I can't, it's impossible. I'm up against a legendary idol." Sawafuji says, "Precisely, she is Azusa, the singing voice from the heavens. Someone like you can never beat her." I'm just gonna say, I believe in Tsubasa. I've seen her tackle challenges head on and overcome them all the time. Tsubasa says, "Itsuki." Kaida says, "You can surely prevail over this. Believe in the skills you acquired, all your experiences until now, and the strength of your ideas." Tsubasa says, "Kaida." Kaida says, "Sing, Tsubasa. Sing so that you can save Mr. Sawafuji and the trapped soul of Azusa. The time has come to take flight." Tsubasa screams and says, "I'm Tsubasa. My song is Feel, and I'll sing it with all my heart." Someday. Sawafuji says, "The singing." Pharaoh says, "That's impossible. I lost. This isn't over yet." Itsuki says, "Let's do it, Tsubasa." Tsubasa says, "Yeah, we'll save Mr. Sawafuji." Pharaoh says, "I'll put all my resentment into this next song." Pharaoh says, how could I, the legendary idol, be bested by this child? Tsubasa says, the legendary idol is Azusa, not you. Pharaoh says, you insolent child. Medium attack on all enemies. I think I would like that actually. Tsubasa says, ah! And then laughs and says, Itsuki. Itsuki says, what's up? Tsubasa says, even though we were in a grim situation, being able to sing with everything I had felt really great. Itsuki says, I see. Tsubasa says, I really love singing. And her titty orb is coming out. Oh yeah. She has learned Wing of Dreams. Sawafuji says that performance was marvelous. Tsubasa says, huh? Sawafuji says, most impressive, that voice, that composure, an infinite vessel that accepts fans' feelings. Tsubasa says, huh? Sawafuji says it can only be equated to enlightenment, an idol's true essence, to think one could attain this in a body of flesh. Sawafuji says Tsubasa. Tsubasa says yes. Sawafuji says, would you let me write you a song? Tsubasa says yes, I could be honored. I should be honored, I guess. Would be honored. Kaida says, I'm delighted for you. Tsubasa says, I couldn't have done it without you and Itsuki. Thank you. Itsuki says, looks like the case is closed. Tsubasa says, no it's not. I still gotta practice for my solo concert. Itsuki says, let's head back. Sawafuji says, it looks like I can move on too. Azusa, please watch over her. Alright. The Unity note lets me know that we are ready to do the final one for Tsubasa. Momori says this is the first time I've used Topic with someone who's not family or from school. It's very interesting to talk to people through it. Anyways, we have learned Door of the Skies. Kaida says, Tsubasa, I'd like to formally express my gratitude. Tsubasa says, what's this all of a sudden? Kaida says, by meeting and being with you, I was able to learn the joys of singing and the wonders of expressing oneself. Thank you. Tsubasa says, I should be thanking you too. I mean, if you weren't with me. And she trails off. Kaida says, I'm certain you can stand on your own. You have a trustworthy companion in Itsuki. He's strong, kind, and accepting. For some reason, I sense nostalgia when I see him. Tsubasa says, he really is. Itsuki's amazing. I mean, no, that's not okay, Kaida. I don't think you should say stuff like that. Kaida says, why not? I believe romance is a right bestowed to all maidens. Tsubasa says, wow. Kaida says, it's merely a joke. Sorry for teasing you. Tsubasa says, geez, Kaida. Seriously, though, why are you bringing this up all of a sudden? It's like you're saying goodbye. We'll always be together, right? Kaida says, of course, but today's your first solo concert. It's a day to celebrate. It's something to commemorate, so I had to tell you how I feel. Tsubasa says, I see. Kaida says, it's almost time. It still hasn't hit me, but I feel like I've finally come this far. Kaida says, this far? That's not right, Tsubasa. Your path is only beginning. Tsubasa says, Kaida, yeah, you're right. Kaida says, do your best, Tsubasa. She says, I will. Okay. And I guess it's time for her concert. Let's turn up the volume a little bit here. My. Sawafuji says a stoicism that exudes Azusa in her prime, divine singing, innocence, your charm cannot be mimicked. A new era has come, a revolution of idols. The newest idol legend begins now. Sawafuji says Tsubasa. Tsubasa says, yes sir? Sawafuji says, your performance was spectacular. Allow me to write your next song as well. Tsubasa says, thanks for everything. Itsuki says, he's an odd one as always. Tsubasa says, he sure is. Itsuki says, if Mr. Sawafuji praised you that much, doesn't that mean he expects great things from you? Tsubasa says, you think so? To be honest, I think I was also entrusted with Azusa's passions. That's why I want to succeed, and I hope I can create something new with it too. Itsuki says, that's a big responsibility. Tsubasa says, Itsuki says, by the way, how do you feel now that the concert's over? Tsubasa says, I can't put it into words, but it was tons of fun. It makes me wonder if that's how Kiria feels on the stage. I think I understand it now. Itsuki says, I see. Tsubasa says, well, you're the one who helped me get this far, so thanks. I just say I should thank you too. Seeing you rise up like this in the business, how do I put it? It lit a fire inside me. So thank you. Tsubasa says, Itsuki, no, I should be thanking you tons and tons more. I mean, if I have you at my side, I'll be invincible. Itsuki says, really? Tsubasa says, you know, Itsuki, I'm not even close to being satisfied yet. I want more and more people to listen to my songs. So that's why I'll try and work harder, okay? I'd like it if you keep watching by my side. Itsuki says, of course. After all, who knows what'll happen if I take my eyes off you? Tsubasa says, yup. Alrighty. Itsuki has leveled up. So has Tsubasa, and Toma, and Kiria, and Ellie, and Momori. And she has now become a sacred idol with a skill, you're on fly. You're my wind. Okay. Oof. Alrighty, I think I'm gonna save here and cut the stream, and thanks to all those who are watching, and you will definitely see me come back, if not tomorrow, certainly the next day. But I hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you soon.